the world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You are listening to DJ Sodza live on Zimnet Radio.
Join DJ Sodza and his informative team live every Thursday at 9 p.m. UK time, discussing Zimbabwean politics.
It is a Thursday, and you know what that means. It's a men's corner show with yours truly, DJ Sodza.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's 5 minutes gone after the hour of 10 in the United Kingdom. This is the Men's Corner show. Let me welcome each and every one of you who are listening right now. Where is that coming from? Tete Rosie, how are you there?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. We're just hearing a lot of noise there. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Let me just put myself on mute.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. Right, Zimbabwe, if you remember last week we had Dr. Nkosana Moyo here on the show, and we asked him most of the questions that you sent us here, and he answered them. So I don't know, we discussed after that what other people thought about the discussion and what he has got to offer. A lot of people didn't think much of him. They were saying that he is not offering anything new, but some people were saying these are the type of people we need to join the political arena in Zimbabwe. There are people who have run businesses before, people who know how to run the economy and all the rest of it. Someone was even arguing that we don't want any more lawyers. We have had lawyers all the time and they haven't done anything. We want something different. But I don't know whether these guys are going to win an election there. But anyway, some people were saying that, look, these people, they must get in there and voice one or two voices in there. You never know, things might change in Zimbabwe. So anyway, we thank him. Let me also say that in the coming weeks and months, we will be bringing some of the presidential hopefuls here on the show and ask them questions. And I hope that they can stay up and come live here, so that people can ask their questions as well. So anyway, I know the men are always late, but Wapfefe has joined us. I haven't seen Sekuru. I'm very concerned about Sekuru because
Me too.
Things are not things are not happening good for them in the MDC party. Yeah, and
I talked to him earlier.
And his team has been beaten really. I don't know, maybe he's got a heart attack there.
Yes.
Yes, maybe it's got...
Sakura is fine. I spoke to him. He was driving.
I
spoke to him.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Sodza?
Yes.
Man City is doing so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we need to kick on here, but let me read a few messages that came from people. Now, we have been running this, on the background. For some of you who haven't got WhatsApp, I've got a WhatsApp group that we've got for Men's Corner. That, if there's anything that is happening, I can just send people and they can see what's happening, and also I can send people to tell them what we are talking about. And some of the people have already sent their contributions here. This one is saying that, hi DJ, it's me, Papa Sodza from Liverpool. My contribution is that the MDC is not dead, nor will it disintegrate. I believe that it is in good hands now with Nelson Chamisa. And let me take these calls coming. The men are coming now, It's 9 minutes, but they're coming. Right, let me read this.
Zimbabwean men, okay?
Yeah, they're Zimbabwean men, yeah. Let me read this again. Hi DJ, it's Papa Sodza here in Liverpool. My contribution is that the MDC is not dead, nor will it disintegrate. I believe that it is in good hands with Chamisa and the future is bright. Watch the space come election time. Unity and cooperation is the key. He's in favor there. Let me see if maybe I can read something else here. Considering today's events, we must now consider Tsvangirai's party the movement for undemocratic movement. Chamisa went from an illegitimate acting president to president without democratic Congress election. I had hoped that Mugabe would leave with his ZANU-PF, but instead Morgan left with his democracy. Good luck, Zimbabwe. I believe Chamisa to be the biggest and unexpected ZANU infiltrator. He will lead us to a GNU and the absorption of opposition into a one-party state and the end of democracy in Zimbabwe. Right. Now, if you are out there and you want to send your message as well, please do so. Our WhatsApp number is 0798 4455349. I said I was going to try something else tonight. If you think you can call me on WhatsApp, that number, you can try and call me on that, and I will see what I can do here to connect you so that you can speak on radio. Zvisinei, regai ndikwazisewo ndinawo nhasi unoyu. Mukoma Wilbert, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello, ladies. I hope you all had a nice week.
Right.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Wilbert.
So you only greet the ladies. What about the men?
I've got mine reduced to the small window. I only saw Sally and Rose initially when I had the full window, so I'm not sure.
All you need to
Okay.
somebody else.
All right. All right. Tete Rosie, how are you there?
I'm okay. How are you? How's everybody doing? How's everybody at home?
Fabulous. Sally, how are you in South?
I'm okay, thank you, DJ Sodza. Good evening, DJ Sodza. Good evening, Rosie. Good evening, Fefe. Good evening, Wilbert. And good evening, my darling Teach. And good evening, Zimbabweans, wherever you are. I hope you've had a fantastic week.
Thank you so much. Mukoma Teach maswera seiko muri kupona here nechano?
Tinongoshingirira pachivanhu.
Condolences, I'm told your team has been hammered to, kurowa kunge nyoka yapinda mumba kuya uko. How bad is the team down in London then?
I'm dealing with the Zimbabwe politics at the moment.
Yes. I know that even Sekuru has got a heart attack at the moment. Mkoma Teach will spare you something there tonight. We won't talk about it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Teach. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. Sorry about the Gunners losing 2 games in a row. That's terrible.
I'm talking football. I just wanted to give you priority on the greetings. Since Mama no.
Oh dear me. Mukoma Elliot Pepe maswera seiko muri kupona here nechando ku Midlands uko. I'm hearing that there's a red amper there.
Kuno kuchakaoma chiri kukwidza hamba muti kuno.
Good.
Good evening, panel. Wilbert, Rosie, Sally, Teach, and the Zimbabweans, wherever you are. This is the time that I wish I was in Zimbabwe. I'm sitting here in the sub temperatures.
All right. Thank you. Chief Social Komaswera say.
Maswera DJ kana maswera o tinacho chando kuno.
Chashika, the beast from the east is in America as well.
Kuno kwandogara ini ndoka chinopikwa zoti every time nongoti matavere pakaipa paya ndomungada akambenga asvika kuno amelodila akaimba kuti chii
ingadai akachinja maimbiro handiti
akachinja maimbiro.
Aiwa, ndinotenda zvangu. Vapepe, regai nditange nemi vapepe. We all saw what happened today there in, now I'm told it's called Morgan Tsvangirai building there in Harare. A lot of people have got questions on what happens. Maybe, can I ask you this question first? Is MDC dead? Is MDC dead with Tsvangirai?
Well, it has now been rejuvenated. I can say that on the ground, the vibe on the ground is that of rallying. And I think yes, Tsvangirai is dead, but people need to understand that it was not a one-man band. Tsvangirai was symbolic as a person leading a vision. Now, yes, he is dead, but I think the party have realized that we need to be united, and united we have, and united we have selected and endorsed under the Constitution a person acceptable both within the party and within the people. So yes,
right. So Wapeve, it looks to me and it sounds to me that you are very, very happy with the decision that has been made. Now, what would you like to say to those people that say you should have gone to Congress rather than appointing someone in this manner?
I think, yes, I've heard that narrative, but people need to understand the Constitution allows the National Council outside the Congress to make that decision. Yes, the provision is in the event of the president either being incapacitated or the death of the president, then the vice president takes over for a period of 12 months, and then there should be an extraordinary Congress within 12 months. That's here we are assuming that it is an ideal situation, right? We are not within an ideal situation. We are facing an election in the next 3 months. The National Council under Section 8 is empowered to make that decision, and that's exactly what they've done.
Wapeve, sorry, I just want to know a few things here. So you people went into that room. Now, were there any candidates that were put up, or you just went into that room and say, right, we are choosing this candidate? Can you explain to us what was the criteria to come up with Chamisa here?
Firstly, you need to understand that Chamisa was endorsed as the acting vice president.
By who?
And that was by the same National Council, and that was on the week. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was on the 19th of February. Then, of course, there were some people who contested that, and now within the Constitution, the redress would be the same, the National Council, including those who were not there on the day it was endorsed, to then convene and then be part and process of the National Council decision process. And this is because there were some people who were not there, and I can understand that, but this time around, the quorum of over 2/3 majority was there.
No, Vapeve, zvandiri kuda kubvunza, I don't know, chirungu chiri kundinetsa panapa. What I want to ask you is, right, now you go into that, into a room, right, and you say we want to choose a leader, and you've got maybe 200 people in there, right? Vanhu vanobvumidzwa here kuisa mazita avo into the hat, kana kuti vanhu vanongonzi varida kuti nhingi uyu aite president simukai, varida kuti nhingi uyu aite president simukai. I just want to understand the criteria of it. Was there anyone who was up against Chamisa and there was a secret ballot, or it was just someone who suggested Chamisa and everyone come up and say, yes, that's what we need. Can you explain to us, how did you guys come up to this decision?
Now, there are two types of decision-making process. One is Congress, in which case anyone another could contest for that post can put the head and no contest. That's a Congress. In other words, all the other structures are nullified, and then people who contest or no contest for that post will contest.
Right.
And then there is appointment by the operation of the law or operation of the constitution. In which case, the vice president becomes the acting president, or the interim president in the event of the death becomes the interim president. That is by appointment. It's not by voting.
Right.
And this is what we are talking about. So that is within the constitution.
Right.
So there are two types of leadership contests.
Yeah, I know, but given that we have got 3 vice presidents here, was there any consideration of other candidates? You know, the Coopers and the other chap there. Was there any consideration of them?
Yes, indeed. This is why I'm saying first pakatwa endorsement of the appointment. There were certain concerns by especially the other 2 vice presidents who were not there on the day. And this is why the National Council met for the second time to actually to review my concerns here, these people, and also to invite them to present their concerns. And they had also an opportunity, if they wanted to put their candidature there, again the National Council would then made a decision as to who out of the 3 of them should be the interim president, who then have to facilitate an extraordinary Congress in the 12 months. So Mbunzuri was there. Unfortunately, the other one was not there. The VP Cooper was not there. And of course, the National Council is empowered to make a decision in the event that if the VP or any leader has been invited for the council and has not attended, if there's a quorum, then the proceedings of the day will continue. So that's exactly what happened. So,
all right. Zimbabwe. So, you are happy with all the proceedings that have taken place there?
I'm extremely happy that everything is done above board within the framework of the constitution of the MDC, and that eventually, once such a process by operation of the constitution is done, it becomes easy for people to work with the consensus, and this is exactly what we are doing.
All right. Thank you so much. Mukomatichi, happy with what is taking place there in the MDC from your point of view?
100% not.
Why aren't you happy about it?
If there's anything I wanted or I wished for, and I know even those that support Chamisa or they've loved to do, is Chamisa not to be a controversial leader in any form or shape. Worse, not to be seen sidelining people of Matabeleland, given that since independence, people of Matabeleland have been victims of political shenanigans in Zimbabwe. There's something completely immature about failing to appreciate such simple reality. It would have been in Chamisa's best interest to go out of his way to bring back love, Momo, Abodniko, Nube, Togozani Kubi. It's not one person. A lot of people seem to think it's about one person. It's not. It's about the chairman of the party, national chairman of the party, former speaker of the National Assembly, and it's about people that followed them. They are the people that were the leaders of both Matabeleland North and Matabeleland South and the Bulawayo province. That is 3 political provinces. You cannot, and I repeat, do what MDC has done, to bully them out, not to accommodate their concerns. They raised their concerns at the formation of the MDC alliance. That's what democracy is. They said they didn't feel that the alliance was addressing the concerns of the region where MDC is predominant and where the Chambers had allocated seats to the other rebels. That left MDC with a lot of seats and came back with nothing and started staking a claim on seats to be preserved for themselves. Yet the same rebels, when they were thrown out of MDC parliamentary to prove they are worthy, they did not go and contest those elections in their new formations when the by-elections were run. They actually failed to even go and contest the elections for the seats that they cost MDC and lost. Thokozani has never rebelled against MDC. She has never left MDC. Every time she has a difference, even with Stangirai, she will fight it from within until they find common ground. Chamisa failed to understand that's what Stangirai has done over the years. Was always making sure you would travel to Blawa, make sure they reach common ground, come back, sit together at a press conference, and unite their house. He has failed on that. And I'm telling you, that is the albatross around his neck. Personally, if at the end of the day he does not win the presidency, he is doomed. And unfortunately, a lot of MDC are going to be victims of his shenanigans.
All right.
DJ Sodza, can I respond to that if I may quickly?
Okay.
Yes. With due respect to my brother Tej, look at it. There is no intention whatsoever to marginalize people from the Madabere land, as you have said, because Madabere land were represented in the National Council. Secondly, by the way, yes, we alluded Moyo and Bebe. Yes, that is right. But don't forget that these three national executive members did not start boycotting because of Chamisa's ascendance to the leadership. They started boycotting even when Morgan Tsvangirai was still alive. And this followed immediately after the decision for the MDC alliance. So this boycott is not a new phenomenon. And then finally, the three leaders were communicated. They were not ignored. There were several attempts, the normal channel, to let them know of that meeting and to make sure that they also attend and take their rightful position. So, and the current situation is that neither of the three have been suspended. Moyo, Kupe, and Bebe, and the engagement is still continuing. And we want a united MDC. So they are not being marginalized. There's no intention to do that. And I just wanted to make it very clear there.
All right. Ngoma Tichi, you want to respond to that?
Let me just finish off what I wanted to say. Thanks very much, Ngoma Fefe, because what you are saying is what we would like to see happening. But is it what is happening? For starters, I just want to highlight the fact that they made their position clear about the MDC alliance. That's their democratic right. But I'll tell you that over and above that, when they boycotted the MDC alliance, some members of your party, including Charlton Wayne, sent some youth there to try and disrupt or persuade them or use strong arm tactics. And Tsvangirai said no to that, even suspended Wayne at some point. But more important, Tsvangirai sought to engage his VP and fellow executive members. He actually was in that process. It's unfortunate that he failed it, but he went out of his way to address their concerns, to say, I want to bring you on board, and dialogue. At the moment, it's war. That's what I'm saying. At the moment, it's war. They can't come to another end, not be beaten if they could be beaten up at the funeral of Tranquilite. Chamisa has not made the right noises to make them feel welcome. He has not made, if anything, is done the opposite, not to make them feel welcome. It is, as the aspirant leader at the time, it was up to Chamisa to go out of his way to even say we will provide personal security for your attendance, but we need to work on this together. That has not happened. And that is going to continue to create resentment, especially whereby rebels that post-MTCC are principles of the alliance. It's a problem. It's a problem that needs a leader, needs Chamisa to actually humble himself and bring his family together. Some of us in opposition would like to see that there's nothing as good as a strong MDC for the whole opposition.
All right.
Right now, actually, it's not.
Okay. We want to move on. So, Mukoma Tichi, you are happy with the appointment of Chamisa? Not that you like Chamisa, but was it democratic?
Actually, I like Chamisa. I just want him to do the right thing. You see, the problem right now, I feel he's undermined himself. If the whole that he has undertaken has killed the affection that some of us who are more politically savvy, who are not just psychopaths that blow with the wind, would have loved. It wouldn't have been nice to have a young Chamisa pulling the shots with all this vote behind him without all this controversy. Was it necessary to even have this controversy? If, as Mukoma Pepe says, he has the people's choice, he's the man of the moment, all these sound bites that we hear. Beyond these sound bites, reality stinks. For G, can he unite Zimbabwe if he can't unite MTC?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mukoma Teach. Chief Sose. Chief Sose Muripoira. Right. Okay. Regate up your time. Tete Rosie.
Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, sorry.
Right.
Oh, he's back. He's there. He's there.
Oh, yeah, Chief Sose.
Chief Sose, are you there?
The report DJ.
Okay. All right. Chief Sose, you have seen what has been happening. Now, the first question I want to ask you, is MDC dead?
I mean, MDC is a people's project. It's a party for the people. I don't think it's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will rise from the ashes that it is currently now. But what has happened right now, I mean, we can call it anything, but it has been very undemocratic, in my own opinion, very unprecedented, because we have never seen anything like that, very unprocedural, because even myself, I can't even follow the procedure that the MDC National Council followed. It's, the process lacks clarity. There's nothing that is clear in there. The National Council said so many times, but did we ever hear how they came to say this leader is the one who should be selected or elected?
I tried to pose that question to Mr. Vedekuti. I just wanted the criteria of how they come up with Chamisa, but I don't know if I got the right the answer I wanted.
Not only that, DJ. Not only that. It mind boggles to understand. Yes, they might have said, "Oh, the Congress, I mean, their National Executive Council doesn't allow for other people to put their names in the hat." But even if it is one candidate, do those people, those National Council members, were they ever given a chance to say no or yes? How did they reach that? It's a consensus where the people given an opportunity to say okay, if it was by lifting up their hands, those who want Chamisa to be elected or to be our candidate, put up your hands. Were they given that opportunity? I'm sure there were some people in that National Executive Committee who did not want Chamisa to be president, because that's the nature of democracy. There are some people who want, there are some people who will not want. But what we are hearing is, the National Executive Committee recommended. How did they recommend? Who recommended? How was it done? So all that, you can see that there's a lack of clarity, and therefore there is lack of credibility in how this person became president. And I wonder how he is ever going to attack Mnangagwa, saying, in a way, to most people, not to most people, but to quite a number of people, maybe 40-50%, people are not satisfied with the process. So to those people, even to myself, he is illegitimate. So I don't know how he's going to work himself out of that quagmire, and I don't even understand why a person like Chamisa, a person of his popularity, judging from what his people say or the people who support him say, would have put himself in such a corner, because he could have gone to that Congress and still won. He could have told people in the National Executive Committee to vote, so that at least there is a process that people will see. So I don't know what he's going to do. I just hope, hope against hope, that he will be able to unite the party, because I think that is what is important right now going forward. Is he going to be able to unite the party? I doubt very much, because honestly, you don't unite the party by unleashing a barrage of threats, threats to expel, threats to suspend if you want to work with that person. I don't think that's the best way of doing it. I think Morgan Tsvangirai would have done it in a very different way, than what Chamisa is currently doing. And to alienate a whole region, which is we have Matabele North, we have Matabele South, and then we have Bulawayo. Those are strategic areas that Chamisa, if he's serious of winning a national election, he would have tried his best to ensure that Coupe is on board in a good way, not issuing threats. Now, we are seeing a situation where if the victim is being punished. Coupe complains, of the way the way she was treated. Firstly, in Buhera, and she also complained about the alliance. She didn't complain about the alliance the way it was set up. She complained about those things, and all those are tenets of democracy. That if you're not happy about something, you speak out. It's freedom of speech. It's freedom of expression. She should have been, her concerns should have been addressed. Now we are seeing a situation where her concerns in Buhera were not addressed. The culprits have not yet even been brought to book, and she's already being threatened with suspension when her issues, when her concerns have not been addressed. I think it's very bad, and it's a very bad start for Nelson Chamisa.
All right. Thank you so much. So, Imimeo Chief Sose, you don't understand how they have come up to this Chamisa for Chamisa to be endorsed. You don't know how they come up with this, the criteria that has been used. You don't understand it either, because I don't.
I definitely don't understand even Wapeve. I've never seen Wapeve failing to explain something. Today he was very shaky, because he himself, I don't think he even understands it. He, of course, is MDC, and very MDC to say the truth. And I didn't understand what he was trying to say. I don't think even himself, deep down himself, in his mind, he believes, strongly believes that was the best process to follow. And what I don't understand about Chamisa and Anapeve zvavarikutaura izvi, they think, I mean, if you have dissenting voices that are there the way we are talking, there are so many people in Zimbabwe who are saying the same thing that we are saying here right now, who are not talking about this process. And I want to tell Mr. Beve and Chamisa is, that the elections in Zimbabwe are not won by the party followers. MDC will not win the elections on their own. You need over 1 million voters, or maybe 2 million voters. MDC and even ZANU-PF itself, none of those political parties has more than 1 million supporters on their own in their books. So they are definitely going to need people who don't support them, people who are sitting on the fence. All those people wanting for Chamisa and saying all those things, yes, they are fine, they are okay with this process, and they will go and vote for MDC. But they are not enough to win him an election. That's why they needed to please everyone, including us, the ones who are outside, those who are sitting on the fence, those who are in Matabeleland, because their own supporters will never win them in election. And now it's going to be very difficult to woo those people who are outside MDC to come, because some of them are making these dissenting voices.
All right.
If I were him, I would just have voted to
DJ.
Oh, okay.
Is it okay? I know you have said that I probably did not explain it clearly.
Yeah.
I say in section 9:21, the acting vice president have to prepare the party for a congress within 12 months. I can see where this confusion is coming to, in the sense you could see tighter coincidence. The elections are going to be in between the 12 months. If there was no election, all this hula who wouldn't be there.
Vapeve kaindi kubate ipapo vapeve discrepancy iripo vapeve ndeyekudai zvekuti iyo we people don't even think kuti Chamisa was actually the vice president, because from what we were told is that Mudzuri was the vice president. When Morgan Tsvangirai left for South Africa, we were told that Mudzuri is now the vice president. Yeah?
Acting.
Yes, acting
president.
Acting vice president. Saka kuti zvakazochinja say from there. That's where people don't understand. To start off with. Yes.
Yeah. I think even this meeting in National Council, it's because Kunet Thrima vice president. Out of that, there was now a need for the National Council to meet and make that pronunciation. Right. Back to your question. There was a time where both Mudzuri and Kupe left the country. Do you remember that?
Yes.
They were in South Africa.
Yeah.
And then the vice president who was the country under Chamisa. So now, technically, unfortunately, you can't be acting when you're outside the country. This is why there is no way that you can have both the president and the vice president leaving the country at the same time. One has to remain in act.
Okay, so Pakadzoka Mudzuri ku Zimbabwe, why didn't he take over from Chamisa? Did he take over from Chamisa?
Now, Mudzuri was acting president, isn't it?
Yes.
So the president, yes, if Tsvangirai had come back, who is the president, not the acting,
right,
then by operation of the constitution, then Tsvangirai would take over as the president.
Right.
The time when he left, he was acting. If you leave the country, then whoever is behind becomes the acting. So at the time, Yagafa Tsvangirai, Chamisa, technically according to the constitution, was the acting president.
Right. Okay.
But that was now, this is where now there were certain challenges. That's why council is to meet to say, okay, three vice presidents. Here is the constitution.
Taurai kuti National Council vakazosvika pei kutaura kuti Chamisa vanhu vakavhota here.
Aiwa, ndozvandataura kuti section 9 MDC munovhota chete kana muri kucongress.
Alright.
If it is kuti vice president anditika ndiye ari kufana kutora as an interim, he assumes by the operation of the constitution or prepare now for a congress which should be within 12 months. It is that congress that every post is invalidated. Vanhu vese vanoda kukondesa president over vaita sei voisa mahesi yavo. That's how it works.
Okay.
That's how what the constitution says.
Vapepe, okay. Saka, I know you are saying Kutan's within 12 months. Right? These 12 months, is it not just a period of time? But could it have been just a week? So it can be from the second day, president, the second day you can do the Congress, or a day before a year elapses. Is that right?
Yes.
So
that's
now,
correct.
What I'm saying, I just don't understand why, if the party wanted to be really democratic and like they preach, why didn't they just say, right, a week after Changira has been buried now, come on guys, let's mobilize people, let's go to the Congress so that we have got a legitimate president here. Wouldn't that have been a better idea than the mess that is there now?
That's a good proposition in an ideal situation, yes.
Okay.
But again, that decision I told Runa Chamisa, that decision I told Runa Kupe, that decision I told Runa Mutsu, run a national council. You get what I'm saying? Run a national council. So a national council, by operation of the constitution, they are this is a good thing. This election, yes, according to the constitution, it has to be done within the 12 months to elect a president. But however, the acting president, according to the constitution, because at dinner time between now and the election.
Right.
And mind you, Nyaya Congress, let me remind you, it takes a lot of funding. It takes maybe about 7 months for you to go through the Congress, because it has to start from the branch right to the national executive. So it's not a 1 week thing, not a 1 month thing.
Yeah, it is not right. Okay. Let me, I know let me read a few messages that are coming through. Mkoma Brian Orguti, hello DJ Sodza, ini handina kudzidza zvangu, but I feel MDC should have just done things better. An extraordinary Congress should have been held and a new leader osarudzwa zvisina madoubts mukati. Izvi zviri kuitika izvi panenge pari kuitwa zvitsotsi. That's what we see from the outside. Right. Okay, Salah, I'll give you time to speak in a minute. I can see your message there. Don't worry. Mukomanyasha, varikutiwo, politics does not thrive on morality and ethics. Far from it. Rather, it's charisma and vigilance and carry the day. Even if it means he's stepping on a few toes and ruthlessly crushing dissenting voices in the process. Anything short of that reduces Chamisa to a political relations practitioner. Right. So make your mind there. This one is saying, with all due respect to Mukoma Teach, we had 3 leaders. Yes, Mudzuri, Kupe, and Chamisa. Honestly, Chamisa is the only one pachokwadi, and he hasn't done anything sinister. Zingori pachena zvirikuitika. Right? This one is saying that Sodza, that one is out of topic. Mukoma Teach's party has joined the MDC alliance. That's for another day, Mukoma GV. But I want to read this one. Sodza, they know Chamisa is needed by people, not by Congress. So the MDC supporters want him, period. as their leader. Let's move on. There is no time. Elections are around the corner unless they, ZANU-PF, to win, or unless they want ZANU-PF to win. I think those are Mamuda Utara Mkoma. And right, this one here. Feve is not telling the truth. Ngavangoenda ku Congress zvipere mkoma tatenda. Munosapota Manchester City ere mkoma, I can see your badge there. Congratulations to you. What a team. Right. This one is saying that oh, this is a long one. What's the point of calling this house Morgan Tsvangirai's house when the people pretending to honor him are acting like ZANU-PF by forcing a leadership not voted for by the majority of MDC Congress? As Morgan clearly states in the recording, the person who is the official acting candidate in his absence is Thokozani Kupe. Right? Those people who chose Chamisa do not represent the big majority of the entire districts of MDC who say Chamisa is popular. Loud noise has never been used in politics as a scientific measure of popularity. That's why voting was invented. Kupe should rightfully dictate proceedings as the official acting president, not Chamisa. Chamisa bamboozled Morgan Tsvangirai's funeral to enforce himself as leader. There was no gap of leadership. Everyone but him was in mourning. Zimbabweans do not need to be led as far as mourning is concerned. Now Matabeleland will not vote for MDC because of what looks like a tribalism inflicted on Kupe, calling her a dissident. This was done by Chamisa. Oh, right. I was happy with the appointment of Chamisa at all. Right. I put the blame on Morgan Tsvangirai. He knew he wasn't well for the longest time. He had time to announce kuti achatora matomu ndiani in his absence. Akaita Chimugabe ipapa. Tsvangirai didn't have to name someone, I'm told here. He should just have resigned. That's my personal view. I normally don't put my personal view on here, Zimbabwe, because as an anchor here, you can't do that. But, you know, I stick by it. That Tsvangirai akanga kuzota arikuwara, he should have said people should go to Congress and choose a new leader. I am not going to choose a new leader because I preach a democracy. So if you preach democracy, you go to Congress. That's my point of view. But anyway,
Sodza.
Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Zimbabwe rekaindidai so I just wanna ndombokudyirai 4 minutes yenyu kuti mugoteerere to this little clip. I hope you hear it because I'm using another gadget here kuti muteerere munzwe. Kune mamwe wanenge wasina
whatever happens, in fact, let me say, party noise, we hope it is not a one-off party. That it is a party position. That is also another guy we are just there for a period. But the future is inherited by others who will take over the leadership. And people feel about it. That's the difference. So who knows? If I am not there, the vice president takes over. And you do. Can a vice president either take over? Mama, he goes by Israel. He has an electoral Congress. Look at it. So you have to understand, please remove this idea that the idea of appointing other vice president was intended to undermine the election. It was not that. Can a electoral Congress? Haachabiri region yake. Atielekti vanhu paCongress on the national leadership to represent their interests. But we are electing a national leadership in order to pursue the national agenda. Now, those sometimes
right. I think manzwa zviri kutaurwa. Inini kuno kundonyarara semunhu mukuru handitika. Right. Ndoda kuti ndiende pana pana Sally hapo. Sally.
Yes, DJ Sodza.
Yes, Sally. Sorry for keeping you.
No, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining at all.
What's your 2 cents on this one? Where do you stand? First of all, let me ask you what I've been asking people. Is MDC really truly dead here?
Yes.
It is dead.
It was buried. Now you have the movement for Darling Chamisa.
Oh, okay.
There's no more MDC. Look, I am confused, and my confused is confused, okay? I mean, I don't understand a word of what Elliot said, okay? I stopped even trying. To me, it's, you know what I'm listening to? I'm listening to all the excuses that ZANU-PF made to say that there weren't splits in ZANU-PF. This is what I'm hearing. Because, seriously, to say that Chamisa is there legally. Oh, okay, cool, no problem. But then what happens to Kupi that was elected by Congress? So we just annihilate her and just shove her to the side, okay? Although she was elected by Congress. And then we find all these excuses to make Chamisa legal, and then Chamisa sits there and attacks Mnangagwa for not being legal, and at the end of it turns around and says, and we will. He doesn't say if we win, it's we will do this and this and this when we are in charge. Seriously. People in Zimbabwe that support this man have lost, they're just desperate. Because when you can support an empty vessel makes the loudest noise. And when you can support somebody like that, where's his substance? I haven't heard him say anything that would make me jump up and down and clap my hands and go, "Ooh, Chamisa, Chamisa." No. But anyway, that's just me. Okay? But hey, please, MDC, stop excuses. You can put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. You can douse it in glitter, you can do whatever you like. It is still a pig. Do you know what? For a change, stand up, admit that there is a problem, and stop making up these excuses for this guy, okay? And twisting this and twisting that and coming out with these, I mean, please. I don't understand any of it. I am completely and utterly confused because I thought a person elected at a Congress more important than a Johnny come lately that I don't even know how he was put in there. And you see, another thing that makes me very angry, how anybody allowed Morgan Changurai to put in another 3 vice presidents. I mean, for heaven's sake. That was asking for trouble. And now this is what we've got. And now who are people going to vote for? The ones that like an empty vessel that makes a loud noise and looks pretty. The man is very good looking. He dresses very nicely. But hey, you've got to have some foundation. The whole thing, okay? The whole thing. People, please. There's something, I don't know what's happened, okay? But people need to stand up when they see something's not right. This business of keep on shoving things under the carpet and making excuses and trying to wangle around it with some highfalutin hodgepodge, I don't know what, okay? I'm a street person. I'm the kind of people that you're talking to that is going to vote for MDC. And sorry, I don't understand a word of it.
Okay.
For me, the man excuses and through people having the fear to stand up and put things right. Okay, I'll shut up.
All right. Sally, you're not impressed with what has happened there.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not
Thank
at
you
all.
so much. Thank you. Teterozi, America, are you one of those that is happy with what is transpired? Or maybe can I ask you a first question as well? Is MDC dead and buried now?
Honestly, I personally don't know whether it's dead, buried, coming back, or whatever. All I know is this is not the vision. What's going on has nothing to do with democracy. It's not the vision. And until MDC decides to be democratic. When I met Chief Shoshe, I was one of the few people in Chief Shoshe who used to defend MDC hardcore. We're not even members of MDC. But we believed that this was what Zimbabwe needed to change. What Zimbabwe needed to cross over and start again. And I know Mr. Pebonga told Hansi excuses time. I remember we had this conversation, and I remember you were right, DJ Sodza. You asked how long it would take to do a Congress. Mr. Peb, they went on record saying it shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 weeks. I have the tape. I will send it to him. Because maybe he's forgotten. Because now it's convenient to forget what he said. But some of us don't forget. We remember everything that's said by politicians. Because you know what? We're paying attention in class. MDC right now, if we run it back down, when you say there was confusion, first there was confusion. Yakutu, who was acting president. These people, some people went to South Africa, and guess what? Chamisa was also actually supposed to go to South Africa as well. But he decided to not go and sneak into the president. He was not appointed by anyone. He was appointed by a Twitter account. Morgan. But these people were not even embarrassed to be abusing Morgan's Twitter account, saying it's Morgan, when it wasn't. This is how, I want to just point out the underhandedness by Katanga. You know, this is where it all started. On a Twitter account, when we were declared to our president. Because as far as I know, the acting president who was appointed by Morgan in front of everybody. That was Mudzuri. If indeed Mudzuri was leaving the country, then he would have appointed Chamisa. He would have said, I'm appointing you until I come back. But Mudzuri didn't even think to do that because you know what? He thought they were all going. That's how sneaky this whole situation is and underhanded. And some of us remember because we pay attention. And then on top of that, they were pushing Morgan till the last minute, appoint me. And Morgan refused. He said, go to Congress. But yet these people now, my excuses. The Constitution. Let me just tell you, the Constitution, I have seen now 4 different copies of the Constitution. 4! Because you know what? My diligent self decided to ask 6 different people from NDC for the Constitution. And I discovered that the Constitutions don't even look the same. And they're all interpreting it the way they want to interpret it. In fact, the NDC website right now has been down since this shenanigans started. So you know these are shenanigans. There's nothing democratic. There's nothing transparent. Even I'm an educator. Mr. Pibarque is the educator. When you're an educator, you simplify things and you make it simple. But when you can't even do that, when you can't even simplify something that the electorate needs to understand, then you're lying. You're simply blowing smoke up. And when he says there's no time, Seka, you mean to tell me NDC is not going to have to mobilize for voting? They're not going to have to go to ward level, to cell level, to provincial level, whatever level they have to be, to mobilize everyone to vote? Would having a Congress not have been killing 2 birds with 1 stone? Where you mobilize everybody, and everybody knows who the is, and everybody ends up understanding what's going on? I know, we even offered to pay for Congress. That's another lie that's been peddled, another excuse. And I also know of at least 2 other organizations that say they would pay. And right now, a lot of the embassies, a lot of the international people are saying, pay money unless they go to Congress. We'll give them money to go to Congress. But we will not give them money for anything else until there's legitimacy. And what's shocking about this is okay. Zimbabwe, the biggest crisis in Zimbabwe that has stopped development is the crisis of legitimacy, lack of rule of law, lack of constitutionalism. So are you expected to trust a party that does not follow rules, that does not follow the constitution, that makes up excuses to actually get in and fix the problems we have when they have an illegitimate leader? Elections. Who is going to come to your defense? Because there will be no defense. And Zimbabweans need to understand this. Because you know what? Chamisa is these illegitimate people. Right. And people are going to look at him and say, but who are you? And who voted for you? You didn't even have an internal election process to determine whether you were popular enough to even win an election. So what made you think you would win an election? Furthermore, National Council, you mean to tell me there's democracy?
All right.
Has been given 7 days. Monzora was told he would be fired. Gutu, because he had a divergent opinion, was also suspended. This is the democracy. My reporters not have this house, and that's not even the first time. But this has become the norm in MDC now.
Okay.
So everyone is vanguard, attack you, and you guys want to call yourself a democratic party.
All right.
This is disgusting.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Teteros, on that. That is a very unhappy customer. Vavencha kupa mkana kuti mpindure in a minute. But rekaende kuna Mukoma Wilbert. Mukoma Wilbert, please go ahead before I read some of the messages coming through our WhatsApp here. For those that are sending messages on WhatsApp, please keep them coming, and I will endeavor to read most of them. Thank you so much.
My opinion is, I think MDC is not dead. It will struggle on, but it will never be really sound. It's a pity that this confusion of three VPs was not sorted out. The appointments of the additional two was made in, is it July 2016? And, nearly 1.5 years ago, I think the MDC had the opportunity to get that sorted out and get it properly confirmed by the council or whatever it is. That is how the organization run. But now Tranquila is dead and Chamisa is in, and I think there is a lot of truth in what people like Rosie and Chief Shoshe, they are saying that MDC is going to lose a lot of supporters, even supporters from who are not members necessarily, but also people who would have voted for the party. But because of this, they're going to lose their support, which is a pity, because I think this problem could have easily been avoided.
Right. So Imemi Mukoma Murgutaura uti Imemi, really the blame lies unfortunately on Changirai on electing 3 vice presidents. There was no need of that. You had Kupe there. If you wanted to create other jobs for Chamisa and Mutsuri, just say create jobs for them, but don't touch the vice president, which was constitutionally elected at the Congress.
Yeah, okay, I don't know what was the justification for having the other two, but once it was done, I mean, there was, like I said, I think from what I could read, I think it was done in July 2016, so there'd been a lot of time that would have, if they've, the party itself, not just Trangirai, but the whole party itself should have said, well, let's sort this out and get it formally endorsed by the council. There are now 3 vice presidents. Because at the present moment, one of the problems that most people have is this issue of these additional two look like they were appointed by Trangirai and nobody else, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the truth of it, yes.
Yeah, so, and that also creates a problem. And then unfortunately, I think Trangirai also had a serious weakness in that he took it upon himself to make such senior appointments and not even go back to the council and get it endorsed. At least get it endorsed, even if whatever reason he had for making those quick appointments, get it formally endorsed. Call the council in whatever is the body that makes decisions between Congress to formally endorse those appointments. I think that would have probably helped clear some of this. But now the problem is there, and it's like a clay pot. Once it's broken, you'll never put it together again. It will never be the same. Yeah. I can tell you. I think people like Rose and Teach say the same thing as well there, that you have lost a lot of members who are members of MDC, have been faithful members of MDC, and some of them are not even members that would have supported MDC, and that was totally unnecessary. And I think that is what must be emphasized here. This could have been avoided.
Right. Ndisati ndaenda kuna mukoma Tafadzwa watinawo panhare yawo. Regai ndidaiso. Let me do this. Kwanziko DJ, can you please tell Tete Rosie and Sally that I told them MDC has lost direction a long time ago. The only person to vote for is Emerson Mnangagwa now. He is the only reasonable choice at the moment.
No, thank you. No, thank you. And you sorry
guys, sorry. Let me just finish what I'm reading here, and it's saying that thank you so much. This was from one and only Benford, who cannot call in today because he is at work, but he's listening with great intention here.
You were his Bedford, and you told him about MDC years ago, so don't play with it.
I mean, if we're crying about MDC now, why would we even vote for ZANU-PF?
Okay, right, all right. Let me read some more stuff here. Some of these messages right, regarding to this one. Right, Mukoma Sodza, I saw two sides of this mess. From cheerleaders of the MDC Council resolution elevating Chamisa, he is both for the Alliance coalition and he has more youth support. On the other side, Honorable Thokozani Kupe has no broader support to win presidency, and she is against the alliance, hence weakening MDC's chances of winning due to split of votes and or not popular broadly. That is a very good point there, Mukoma. So let me read this again because I think there's some sense in this. Mukoma Sodza, I saw two sides of this mess. From cheerleaders of the MDC Council resolution elevating Chamisa, he is both for the Alliance coalition and he has more youth support. On the other side, Honorable Thokozani Kupe has no broader support to win presidency and she is against Alliance, hence weakening MDC's chances of winning due to splitting of votes and or not popular broadly. That's another message coming. And the DJ, our Tete Rosie. Okay, all right. No, won't read that. Next one. Auntie Rosie Vane is we. Oh, okay, right. Okay, you are agreeing with that. Next one. Right. Okay. Some of these messages getting up. Okay. What do you expect to Sally to say? She has always been opposed to MDC, so there's no change there. Right. Okay. So
yes. I don't change.
Yeah. So do we see another split of MDC? Question mark. If you've got a message to send me, please do 079844555349. If you want to phone on that WhatsApp number, try and phone and I'll see what I can do for you. Mukoma Tafadzwa, welcome to the show.
Yes, Magadi DJ.
Tinofara Chose, is MDC dead, my brother?
Yes. MDC is well underlined and ready for the new chapter in our quest for democratic peace and
Saka, we as a party, I'm excited that we Advocate Honorable Nelson Chamisa was appointed to be president and to represent our party in the next election in Zimbabwe. I think Kwandiri, that's a pivotal moment because the last 3 weeks or so has just been a rocking boat in our party as far as what's the next way forward as far as our leadership. And I think we've somewhat been able to settle that boat, and we're now looking forward to starting our election campaigns and the people together and trying to get the people motivated for elections. So, Inini, I'm very excited with where we are. I am very, very much excited with the leader that we have who will be representing our party for the next election. I know, of course, there have been issues as far as who, when, and why, who should be appointed to that post. I will recall you asked us, Mimi DJ Kuti, who would be your preferred candidate, whether one would vote for Chamisa or not. I took a position then and I said, no, I would not vote for Chamisa. And that was my position. And my position was based on the basis of what was going on at the time and some of the things Sally and other people. But the events that have occurred over the past week and a half convinced me, and I am fully on board with Nelson Chamisa because I took the position in which if they follow the constitution of the party, Chamisa will have my full support for this election as the president candidate for the presidential election. So I'm very excited. He's a young leader. He's very articulate. He's very educated, and he understands the people more than anyone I know so far within our party. And the youth are energized. The youth are tired of all these older generation candidates who come and tell them what to do. The pockets at the expense of, employment, at the expense of opportunities for the youth. And Chamisa is right there. He is right there. He's a youthful leader who understands my struggles, a youth, because he is just within that age realm. Struggle. And we're excited. We're very excited. So the MDC is not dead at all.
Mukoma, you're very excited. Are you happy with the criteria that has been used to endorse Chamisa?
Yes, I'm happy. Right. I'm very happy with the process because there's a constitution, and in the process they quoted every clause of the constitution as to how we arrived to where we are today. Chamisa did not just become the substantive president or the presidential candidate by voice. It's by the constitution. There are clauses that have been quoted. I don't want to go through every line of the Constitution that has enabled this to happen, but it's very constitutional. It might not be preferential to other people. There might be a little other things that were not exactly perfect, but this works, and this is within the lines of the Constitution.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mkomang, for your contribution there, and it looks like you are fully behind Nelson Chamisa, and we wish him luck. Mapepe?
Yes.
I know a lot of people have said a few things there. I don't know if there's anything that you thought you'd want to clarify.
Yeah, I just want to clarify two things. I know, Wilbert, it was a good proposition. I think he alluded to the fact you're going to the appointment, the two vice presidents. Yakaitwa endorsed the National Council ma issues ya tinawa angadai asipo. Can I just confirm that the National Council did endorse and amend the Constitution on the 27th of July 2016? You remember after the appointment, there were two vice presidents. There was actually resistance with the party And then the National Council met, chaired by the president, and then the National Council finally, after the explanation, endorsed, and the constitution was amended on the 27th of July 2016. And it's in the public knowledge. If you want, you can search Monzora, as the Secretary General, also made a press conference to confirm that. So by the time that Tsvangirai died, there was no question about the two other vice presidents. That was not even on the agenda. This is why Kupe wasn't boycotting working with Chamisa or Kupe. Those three, eventually, they were working together harmoniously because that was operationalized by the National Council and the Constitution. The second one is I can understand the anger coming from the generality of the people at the fringes of MDC, because I see the resistance is coming from people, some of the people who are not even MDC members, in which case they do not understand the Constitution, they may not understand the procedure that took place, they may not have been privy to all this in terms of the amendment of the Constitution of the MDC to appoint the two vice presidents and the reason for the appointments. So those were the two issues that I wanted to clarify. Everything in terms of the three vice presidents, as far as MDC is concerned, they were above board and it's part of the Constitution.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
There's someone who like what you said here. Let me read it. Hans DJ, I could not agree more with Mkoma Tafadzwa and what he is saying. He is sound and spot on. So you've got a fun there.
Thank you very much. DJ Sodza, yes. I just wanted to say one thing.
Yeah.
We today, we're also celebrating the release of Yvonne Musarurwa and last Manenga Anna, who were unjustly sentenced to 20 years in prison, I believe last year. And I just wanted to say this because this is something Chakati Rwanda sentence for last year. And I just wanted to take this moment to say we are also celebrating their release from prison. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mkoma,
that's
for that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We talked about that on the show last year. Do you remember, DJ?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Yes, we did.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Why were they released?
Because they were not guilty in the first place. They were injustifiably...
No, they didn't win. It was part of the amnesty that was given for prison. No, it was part of the amnesty, some amnesty that was given. I believe there's a backstory to it, but I'm just glad they're out.
Yes, and I'll insist they were injustifiably sentenced.
But they were released on amnesty.
Yes, they were for injustifiable sentencing. Yes.
All right. Let me read some of these messages coming through. Kwanziko, Mkoma Sodza, please, can you bring Wachino Timba to the show so that Timbonzwe kuti what's in the new dispensation? Mkoma mungapa madare.
We can't have Chino Timba and Sekuru at the same time.
Oh dear. Now this one is saying, I'm a very happy customer here, DJ. We need young blood, Chamisa for presidents, definitely. This one is saying that now that being said, please MDC and all alliance partners have a clear, simple message of issues affecting ordinary citizens, not personal contest. Vana Mkoma Pevend, Mkoma Teach, Mkoma Tafadzwa, Chief Sose and all visionaries articulate your basis to come up with a people's issue policies and present it in simple, understandable language and torn. And akuerenga tetemere wanyora something wechidiki wese vari kuda Nelson Chamisa. Do you know kuti vana vese born free vamwe vane dzimba asi havasati vambotambira chinonzi mari yepay kana payslip haatomboizivi kungorara nehwakumukwaku hand to mouth. Ndosaka muchiona wechidiki vari kuda Nelson Chamisa for a change waneta nekutungamirirwa nemadhara. Now this is another sentiment that is a lot of people are saying that we don't care how Chamisa get in there, but what we want someone young to be on the ballot paper under any price. Under any price, we want someone young that we can resonate with on the ballot paper. 65 years plus, Taneta. This is what a lot of people have been messaging me, telling me here. But so
DJ Sodza.
Yes,
and a lot of those people.
I'll add and say, the people are tired, but then there are also people who will do everything to protect democracy and make sure that democracy strives within the MDC. For example, I will stand up and say I will defend democracy and the Constitution, even though we may all want Chamisa at all costs. My thing was he had to ascend to the president in the right manner. That's what I wanted to see, and it happened in the way that satisfied me within the constitutional clauses of the MDC, and so that's how I'm endorsing. And I'm fully 100% behind.
Can I say something?
Because we don't want it's dangerous to be unconditional, to give somebody power without the conditions of power and without the stipulations that give them the power. And so, because if he ascends to the president of Zimbabwe, we do not want to create a little Mugabe who thinks
right. Okay. Tete Rosi, I'll give you 2 minutes. Then I've finally found him now from his slumber. Yes.
Can I have say the one thing that I've noticed with the things that have happened within ZANU-PF and within MDC, there is an issue of populism, a popular idea that takes ground, and people don't quite interrogate everything that comes with it. We want someone young. Yes, we want young leaders. But no one asks, what type of leader do we want? What are the expectations? What are the things that we expect? What are the things we're saying no to? It's just we want a young leader.
No.
I've seen you. That's you.
With the qualities to lead.
Yes.
And Chamisa has those qualities. Chamisa is educated enough. He's had experience in parliament. He was a deputy minister who actually produced things.
Violence is not a quality.
So
violence is not a quality.
Okay.
Violence is something we need to tell them to stop.
What evidence do you have that Chamisa went and beat up somebody?
Go to CSU and get the documentation from CSU.
What documentation? There's no documentation that you've ever served time for violence, is there?
No! Have you gone to CSU?
All right. Okay.
Go and then come back.
All right. Okay. Okay. Tete, hold on a second. Zamunaona Zimbabwe.
And you have confirmation that there's no violence. Then come back.
Right.
So you move from the issue of the constitution.
All right.
That was unpalatable to you. Now you're going down to a type of violence. So if you just don't like Chamisa, that's okay. It's understandable. It's understandable.
You're intimidating people. That is constitutional.
I'm sorry. Nkoma tafatwa ndokumbira kuti mumbo nyara pichana. Tete. Hello.
No.
Hello. Hold on.
Where are accusations coming from?
Just because
she's throwing rocks all over the place.
They're very founded. They're very founded.
Right. Okay. Sekuru Mascara say, I'm sorry, guys. Yes, Sekuru Mascara say.
For the sake of continuity.
That's where zvangu kuti totaura sei vamwe vachingotanharo kudaro so.
Yeah, we have to move on, Sekuru. I have to take some drastic measures kuno kuma studios. Sometimes, but it's very difficult to control. But we'll move on. Now, Sekuru, can I first say, how are you? How is the cold in Birmingham there? I heard you are frozen there.
Ini munyama wangu nasi kuti chandikwatura. Manchester City yandikwatura. Upenyu hwangu hwakwatuka.
You see, I felt for you, Sekuru. Now, Sekuru, tell me one thing. In this weather, do you persist with your cans of lager, or Mbuya brew you a bit of tea or coffee there?
Ndakatogadzika doro izvozvi kuti kuda ndingapedzera nhamo yangu mudoro irori.
All right, so that's why. Now, Sekuru, coming back to serious issues here, is MDC dead?
MDC, as we know it, haina kufa in terms of the party, in terms of the principles, the formation principle. What has died is the direction of the party. It has been hijacked by the middle class group of elitists, and they have abandoned the cause of the poor and the workers.
Now, Sekuru, I want to have a conversation with you here, Sekuru. I've got some very few questions. I'm very glad that you came in today. I might go out of topic here, but we see from you as well. Sekuru, I spoke to you a few months ago when myself and Sally said, look, Sekuru, when someone is diagnosed with colon cancer, it is almost a death sentence. It's very difficult to come back from it. And you said, no. President will be fine. And I understand that. Now that president is gone. In an event that president is gone, there is contingency plans. And I caught that. Now, are those contingency plans now in action?
No, they have been thrown out of the window because the Paita coup, Mupati.
Right, Paita coup. Now, Sekuru, let's be frank here. So, what was the contingency plans? Would you like to tell us what it was?
The contingency plans were that if the president should die, the deputy president will act and they convene an emergency extraordinary general meeting where the Congress would then elect a replacement leader.
So basically, in short, for some people who don't know what we are talking about here, Thokozani Kupe, as the democratically elected vice president, was going to call for this Congress.
No. She's not a democratically elected vice president. She's the elected deputy president of the MDC.
Okay, all right, thanks for that. So she is the one who was supposed to call for this Congress.
Uncontested, by the way.
She was, in terms of the constitution, she was the one who was automatic. In fact, even now, if she claims to be acting, she is correct. Because in terms of the constitution of the party, she is the one, and the only one entitled to act in the event of a death of a president.
All right. Now, Sekuru, mataura mimi mukati, don't mince your words here. Mataura mimi mukati, the party has been hijacked in looters. Can you explain further there? What is happening?
been a coup in the party. Nelson Chamisa has staged a coup in the party and appropriated power to himself using the National Council to do issues that the National Council is prohibited in terms of the Constitution to do.
Aha. So, Sekuru, ndabvunza wapepe pano kuti kana mati imimi National Council yasarudza Chamisa, what criteria did they use to come up with Chamisa? Saka imimi muri kutoti there was no criteria there, he just imposed himself on it.
Yes, because the National Council itself cannot, the National Council cannot elect him.
Dzokorodzai futi izvozvo Sekuru, hatina kunzwa.
The National Council cannot elect or appoint a president.
May I ask Sekuru a question, please?
Yeah.
Hi, Sekuru. How are you? I'm glad you're here.
I'm fine, thank you.
Right.
Ask your question. You don't have too much time.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Now, where does Chamisa and the other legally were they as vice presidents?
The appointment of vice president was authorized by the Congress in 2014, in November 2014. Because the president said he was sick, and the Congress then authorized him to appoint assistants in his office to help him with the workload. These were portfolio vice presidents to share the workload with the president. The deputy president was always an elected member, and that clause was not changed by the Congress.
But then why wasn't she able to help? Instead of him having to elect another three.
She has got her own responsibility as a vice president, as a deputy president. She has got her own defined role in the Constitution.
Okay.
Okay. So, Sekuru, what has happened to...
Excuse me. Former Feve said we are facing circumstances. One, the vice president, the deputy president elected at Congress was in dispute with the president of the MDC.
Sorry,
mafoni acho ari kutinetsei Sekuru. Mukoma ticho ari kuti hanzi paita conflict because Thokozani Kupe was in conflict with the president vakafa, right? Nenyaya alliance.
That has got nothing to do with the constitutional order.
Hello.
That has got nothing to do with the constitutional order in the MDC. The constitution is made by Congress, and it becomes a resolution of Congress, which can only be amended by 2/3 majority of the Congress, not by the National Council, not by anybody else.
So what is this quote that Wafebe has been giving us here?
Febe can say whatever he likes if he wants to be led by Chamisa or by somebody else who is not properly elected by Congress. That doesn't make him right.
Right.
The Congress made that constitution and passed it in Congress. And it anticipated the death of the president and legislated what would happen when the president dies. So the National Council cannot override a clause that was made by the Congress. If it was a new development which had not been anticipated by Congress, the National Council would make a provisional order and COVID time for ratification.
Right. Saka Sekuru, it looks to me that you are not in favor of what has happened today there in Harvest House.
Not at all.
So where does where does it live? Where does it leave MDC now?
It leaves MDC at a loggerheads with itself, because an unconstitutional behavior has been condoned by an unconstitutional organ of the party. The organ that the National Council is cannot override Congress because its power devolves from Congress.
Well, in that regard, and I understand what you're saying, that is why the president, the substantive president, can only preside over a period of 12 months, because that ratification can only be done at Congress. No.
You are misreading the Constitution, my friend. You are
No.
You are totally. Tell you straight.
What you just said. No. Seguru, you said National Council does not have the power, and the power comes at a Congress where the president is elected. That's correct. The power that the National Council has is to appoint a substantive president, whereby within that
doesn't.
A Congress has to be called to vote for a president. So,
it doesn't have the power to appoint.
It does have the power to appoint.
It doesn't.
All right, okay, Sekuru
does not have the power to appoint.
Sekuru, regaya wapepindi. Wapepe, it looks like what you have told us contradicts what Sekuru is saying.
No, DJ Sodza, people are just speaking what they prefer in the Constitution. At the end of the day, we have a substantive president.
Yeah. DJ Sodza, I would have never come here in front of you as a representative, misrepresenting facts. I'm about and whatever decisions Andrugita Kwamori is based on facts, reports, Constitution. What I'm saying here, maybe Andrugita sort of clarify in your appointments. My appointments yet to further my vice president was regularized by the National Council on the 27th July 2016. Now, does the National Council have the power to do that? Of course. If there is an issue which is in dispute outside Congress, the National Council is the supreme body outside the Congress. So this is why even the president then convene a National Council, and this is why I'm saying it is in the public domain. Mishida, you can actually search, and Secretary General Ngonzora did actually then pronounce and gave sort of a press conference to say it has been amended to accommodate the other two vice presidents after it has been explained. And the National Council accepted.
No.
Can I finish, please? Can I finish?
Let me get
right. So I don't think even Coupe today is in dispute of the two vice presidents. Coupe was in dispute with the way.
That is not the argument. That is not the argument.
Right? Yeah. That one area that I wanted to clarify. The other one, DJ Sodza. In your National Council, I did not say that the National Council elected Chamisa. I said an election can only be done at a Congress. But section 9, subsection 21, the acting president, in the event of the death or incapacitation anaita an interim in acting capacity, facilitating an extraordinary election within 12 months. And that is the constitution, and that is stands.
Can I just get clarification there, DJ?
Yeah.
I think probably Peve and Sekuro are saying something similar, but not quite right. Peve, can you clarify the point between the National Council endorsed the appointment of Chamisa and Mutsuri? They made those two equal to Kupe, because I think that is the issue. Many people see Kupe as, because she was elected at Congress, etc., as senior one. These were just appointed to help the president, but they were never equal to her.
Kupe is not a VP. Admit that Kupe is elected.
I never said he's not. I never said she's not. And this is
She's
why
a deputy president.
I'm
She's not a VP.
Sorry? I never said
she is a deputy president.
She is a deputy
is
president.
Is she a VP?
She is a deputy president.
Correct.
Deputy
and she was elected.
Well, the deputy president.
She was elected deputy president.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, deputy president or vice president, those are just acronyms. It's the same. Deputy president, vice president, there's no difference there. It's the vice of the president.
According to our constitution, according to our constitution, different.
No. Seguru. Mu constitution, I'm not vice president. The initial constitution, Yanga is in a vice president, Yanga a deputy president. Then the president
is correct, and that.
Yeah. Then president, Ndokuva Azo appointed, right? And then because there was a resistance, then it has to go to the National Council for ratification, and that was in July in 2016. That's what I'm saying.
So can I ask Mafebe?
What was the resistance about?
Sorry.
What was the resistance about?
Kupe actually raised a point of constitutionality, in the sense there was in the constitution, she was the elected president. There was no provision for 3 deputy vice presidents or for 2 vice presidents.
Which was correct, wasn't it? That was correct, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm not saying she was wrong. This is why, because of that issue, in the event that there is an issue of dispute, the National Council, that's why the president convened the National Council to ratify it.
Can I ask something? So the
National Council.
Can I ask something? The tape of the president explaining why he actually had the 2. It means Changirai was confused then. He didn't understand his own constitution.
I wouldn't want to go that way. I don't want to.
No. But in the tape he explained, Kupe is the one who is the deputy. There's no confusion there. So I'm trying to understand, Kupe. Was the constitution changed after that?
That's what I'm saying. That on the 27th of July 2016, right? The constitution was regularized to factor in the 2 appointments, to operationalize their office.
So you're saying they became the same then? So they were all
right. Mkoma teach Vunzaitin's. Hold on, Sekuru. Mkoma teach Vunzaitin's.
Yes.
The deputy president is supposed to convene the National Council to do anything else like what they have done now.
Can I just notice the deputy president?
Vice president.
Interim. Okay.
Those are semantics.
Okay, yeah.
Vice president of the party or deputy president doesn't matter to me. was supposed to convene the National Council for the way forward after Trangirai died. Is that correct?
Indeed.
So who would have been the vice president to do that convening, given the ambiguity of Kupe being a Congress elected vice president and the other two being elected to portfolios to assist as SC president? Because as far as I am hearing, Trangirai appointed those other two because of his own incapacity. So at the end of the day, it means that there still was a substantive vice president to him as elected by Congress. And the reason why the National Council was convened by Trangirai to actually operationalize the other two vice presidents was to ensure that the assistance that he had given himself were approved at the Supreme Body between Congress. But it did not take away the role of the elected vice president. In that sense, I'm saying the current National Council should then have been convened by Kupe in terms of hierarchical seniority.
It's a good question. Look, there was
actually at the time that they met.
If everyone else could just
I can also respond to your question because at the time that it happened, Chamisa was the acting president. Mike Kupe was out of the country when the National Council met.
At the time this happened, they were disputing who was the acting president.
All right, okay, guys. What are the pin writings?
Because Chamisa was the acting president.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just say? Yes. Now the operationalization of the two vice presidents did not, in each case, either define junior and yani who is the senior of the other. It just operationalized. Can I just finish? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, your question is whether was it not supposed to be Kupe because Angari elected to be the acting president? I think that was your question, isn't it? Now,
if Congress elected.
Correct. Now, if you look at it, if you remember well, before the president aenda to South Africa, akasiya anakusiya Kupe ari president, akasiya Mudzuri ari acting president, which means the office yevanhu vari 3 hours, they were equal. This is why the president.
Let me explain this once and for all.
This is why you find good.
Let me explain this.
Akasiya appointa Mudzuri as acting president before.
I don't dispute that. I don't dispute that. Neither do I intend to dispute that.
Okay.
I want to explain what was happening in the president's office. In the president's office, because he had appointed two new senior persons, he went to National Council to say, now you have given me the power to appoint my assistant. Two assistants. There is no Congress scheduled until 2019. Can you create two positions for my assistants to assist me because I'm sick?
Correct.
And the Congress, the National Council then said, we have approved that, and we will forward it to Congress in 2019 so that their appointments become ratified by Congress.
Correct.
As it stands now, they are not ratified by Congress.
Yeah, but the ratification by Congress does not necessarily that they are not operationalized, because the Congress.
No. The important thing
is the Supreme Court.
Can I tell you this? That the important thing is that at the present moment there are supernumerary appointments by the president pending approval by Congress. If Congress sits and says, no, we don't want these positions, they become invalid.
But what we are saying is, in between Congress, the National Council makes a decision, and that decision is legally binding. That's what you are saying.
That decision is binding insofar as they are recognized as part of the structure. But if they go to Congress and Congress says no, what happens?
I agree with you. If the Congress says no, that's something else. But what you are saying, in between Congress, the national is final until the Congress.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. No, time artistina, guys. Time artistina, because we could go on for hours here, because a lot of people are showing a lot of confusion on the whole thing. It is confusing. There is no two ways about it. But what it is coming down to, from a neutral point of view, what it is coming down to, whoever is in the MDC or is not in the MDC and would like Chamisa to be the president, they don't care about whether akaselectwa ne Congress kana kuti ana kuselectwa ne Congress. They are going for their candidate, and I can see it from you guys here. Whoever doesn't like Chamisa there as an individual, as a president, is hitting the points yekuti it's unconstitutional. He was not supposed to be there. Coupe should be there. This is the truth of the matter. But anyway,
you need a DJ. You need and bias. Yeah, Chamisa. I have no bias about Chamisa or whoever, but I feel that they followed the right constitutional provisions that satisfy me to his presidency. If Mike Coupe had been the president, as I've always said, I will still be fully behind him. But it is Chamisa who is substantive, and I'm fully behind him, and I'll support him. That's my position.
Okay, thank you so much. Chief Sose, hold on, guys. Hold on. Chief Sose, don't fight 2 minutes. Guys, atina time. 2 minutes, mopeza zvamuda kutaura toenderera mberi. Chief Sose, please.
Right, point of order. I'm very disappointed in Mr. Pepe. I mean, disappointed in that he's defending something that he knows was unconstitutional. He knows that it could have been done in a better way that unites the country. But I'm also disappointed with the way, he said, I think he said people who are outside the MDC, like Chief Sose, Rosie, and Teach, don't understand the MDC constitution, and maybe that's why we are reacting the way we are reacting. I think that was very in a way, because I don't need to be an MDC member for me to understand the MDC constitution. It's a public document. Anyone can go and read it. Anyone who went to school can read it and understand it. So I would like Mr. Pepe to withdraw that statement and even apologize. Because, I mean, what he's saying, I mean, is thrown in his face by Sekuru. Sekuru is an MDC member, a staunch MDC member, even an MDC founder, but he's disagreeing with the process. So where was this coming from? Where the point that he was saying we don't understand what is going on? I'm really, my 2 minutes is not over, Mr. Pepe, and I'm really impressed by people like Sekuru. They give me hope. In fact, they support my relation that the MDC is not dead, because with people who take responsibility that something is wrong in MDC and they are staunch members and they still take responsibility and say it's wrong, those are the people we want going forward. And I can assure you there are many people like Sekuru who are within the MDC right now who were just bamboozled and bulldozed by Chamisa and his group to anoint him president. And I am sure, and this is the reason why I said the MDC is not dead, those people at one time are going to rise up and return MDC to constitutionalism. Chamisa must, pray that he wins these elections, because if he doesn't win these elections, I am telling you, 2019, see his death politically, because he's not going to be voted in at that Congress, and he's not.
All right.
So the MDC is not there.
All right. Okay, but Mkoma Wilbert, 2 minutes, then you please.
Yeah, what I wanted to say here is that some people, particularly people like Pepe and Sekuru, what you must also understand, coming from outsiders, but who have been following MDC's goings on, is that it is in bad taste, even if you had the three vice presidents, for you to convene the National Council while the other two are attending to the death of your leader. They are outside the you convene the National Council and you elect somebody who is going to lead the party forward when the others are not there. I mean, you say to yourself, surely that could have waited for the others to come in, because they may have been interested as well. You know, they may have, like what you were saying, this was Kuchineki, they may have wanted their head in. But if they were not there when that voting took place, they didn't have their name in. So you only get people, and the only name that is there is Chamisa. That was one of the things that made it such in bad taste. Even if the three of them were on par, the fact that the other two are outside the country, you decide, now I'm not the acting president. You call the council, let's decide who's going to be the leader going forward. I mean, surely you could have waited for the others to come in so that if they're interested, they would say, yeah, I'm also interested. Put my head in, my name in the hat. You know, I think that is one of the things that has made it such a big mess, and clearing it is going to be a problem for MDC, which is a pity.
Okay, all right. Teteros, 2 minutes, Zengu, please, there. The 2 minutes.
You know, I just hope, my hope for MDC or whoever it is if there is so much debate about something, at some point you have to realize there's a problem. So you can sugarcoat it, you can put lipstick on it, you can say Kutiba Mwanu. And what Tawanda say, what Chief Soshe say? People like me, we don't understand. I've spent numerous hours on the MDC constitution, on documents for the MDC. So to insult me and say I don't know what's going on is also an insult to people like me. I personally do not even believe what was done. For me, what was done was very unconstitutional. There was something there. There is, even section 8, there's some very underlining, underhanded things that took place. Maybe that's politics. I just don't buy that a Democratic Party should operate in that manner.
All right. It's clear you're not happy. Tete Sali, your 2 minutes there.
Yeah, I don't mind somebody telling you belong to MDC so you don't know. No, I don't. It doesn't worry me. Sekuru was always telling me that anyway, so I'm used to it. You know, during all this performance, you know what it's like to me? Maybe it's just because I'm old, but it's like children in a sand pit fighting over a bucket. Okay, when there are 10 buckets outside that sand pit, but they want that particular bucket. And you know something? You know the most pathetic part of it all? It's the people who are suffering. It's the people. Nobody seems to want to stand up and fight for the people. It's jostling for positions. And look, as far as I'm concerned, you can carry on about how legal Chamisa is and everything else, okay? That's fine. But stop making excuses for it. Please.
Okay.
You know, he's young. Yes, he's young. Brilliant, isn't it? But that's not the only thing. It's how he conducts himself. It's the values that he has, the solutions that he has, the way he lives his life. What comes out of his mouth? Something. The only thing that turned me completely against him was the way he behaved while Changurai was dying and after Changurai died. That was pure and utter greed, nothing more. That's it. All he was interested in was power and nothing more. And really, people sit and think about this. Because, seriously, MDC needs to get its house in order.
Okay.
And quickly.
All right. Sally, thank you so much. Vapepe, ndokupa 2 minutes, please.
Yes, yeah. I know kuti Ubed alluded to Panama. There were certain names that I mentioned which I didn't mention any names, and I made it very clear. I'm not surprised that some of the people who are not agreeing, who don't understand the proceedings, are at the fringes of MDC. Yes, I said that, and it's a valid point, and it will continue to be a valid point. And I said some of the people. And it is true. This debate cut across political parties. But what you are saying is at the end of the day, it is the National Council within MDC, it is the Congress within MDC that makes the definitive decision on the way forward for the party. So that's what I wanted to put it across. And I think the National Council have spoken, and this is the direction that we are going.
And you are happy with the direction that the party is going? Vapepe?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Right. Mukoma, teach your 2 minutes there, please.
I just want to say there's a key element that we should not miss out that Mukoma said from the word go. And that key element is that whatever is happening, MDC find themselves in extraordinary circumstances. To me, that clearly says that shortcuts have been taken given the extraordinary circumstances. The only unfortunate part is, at the end of the day, he did not answer the question that Mukoma asked. What was the criteria used to come up with Nelson Chamisa as the acting president and the presidential candidate, where other candidates in the presidium given an opportunity to present themselves, so that we can say when the National Council voted for Chamisa, Coupe lost or Muturi lost, or, was he competing with? It seemed like he simply bulldozed this way. There was no competition allowed. It was really more of the National Council rubber stamping something that has been decided elsewhere, not within the National Council itself. Because if that was the case, then the National Council should have voted between the vice presidents.
Yeah, you see, I repeat, thank you, Mukoma Teach, for bringing that up, because surely it was not answered, because it didn't sit well with me. Even kana pataenda kundeta ma sports tiri wana wadiki, there's some line there, inside line and outside line. To be fair, what they used to do, they put the 1 to 6 in a hat. You pick number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, number 6. It's fairly done, but I don't know how this come up to be. I'm not against Chamisa or anything like that, but it's just clarity.
DJ, I think problem yenyu kam mamji bvunza mvunzo muine answer.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, yeah, I made it very clear. Kuti National Council aina kuita election. This was not in it kwa chat at a Congress.
Okay.
This constitution inotaura kuti ari kuacta, the person who is acting becomes the interim president and must facilitate within 12 months for an election. That's what I say.
All right.
And
okay.
That's the constitution.
All right. Aiwa, thank you so much. Right. Mukoma Tafadz, by your 2 minutes. Mukoma Tafadz, are you still there? Yes, 2 minutes, then you please.
Thank you. I still maintain my position. As I said before, initially, as you asked, how did Chamisa come into being the acting? Initially, I was also one of those people who were skeptical about that and in disagreement. In my condition, my smell test was the National Council had to meet and ratify a substantive president and also appoint the president who would represent the party at the election. This occurred today, and the National Council met and it was more than 2/3 of the National Council that met. And so they had the full powers vested in them to appoint a substantive president and a candidate. And I'm good with that. At the end of the day, even if it was my coup in this same position, I would support it. And in my smell test, this passed the test. And this is now constitutional to me, and I'm ready to start preparing for the 28th elections to support Chamisa and to start galvanizing the nation to vote for the MDC. This ship is started to sail, and Isusu to move on. The constitutional thing, the presidential thing, we've moved on, and so this is now past me. Marengo Zaripo will handle them internally, but as far as the election, election, Tina Chamisa.
All right. Aiwa, thank you so much. Sekuru, can I give you last chance? 2 minutes, Zenyu?
All right. The issue is, if you look at the constitution of the MDC, in section 921, the deputy president. And if you look at the same section, if you go to 921, it talks about what happens when a president dies. It says that same deputy president will act. If you go to section that 921 says, if in the absence of the deputy president, the chairman will act, and you find that in section constitution section number 931. So if there was a problem with the quarrel that is being advanced that the 3 vice presidents wanted to act, the chairman was there. There was only one chairman. He could act, and they moved it to Congress, to an extraordinary Congress, to elect a president. What has been done is totally wrong. Wana Charlton when they paid Mafan Gadaya to beat people up, to refuse senior officials to contest Chamisa. And I can assure you right now, MDC will go back to the Congress. And the Congress Chamisa akuda because I think I lose my elections. I doubt could do in the Congress because I think I lose my elections. Congress cannot appoint a president of not appoint a president of the party to contest a national election. Only temporary appointment as a ratify one in Congress. It's impossible. But they have done it. They have done the impossible. The results now will be that if he loses that election, in the Congress. So what is going to happen to the party? The party is going to come back to people like me, to people like those people that are being called names now, because we are standing for the party. We are standing for the people. We are standing for the constitution they made. It is a problem you can decide when in Congress. We then change in goalposts. It's not right. It's the way ZANU-PF has done it, and MDC has done the same thing. It's wrong. It cannot be condoned. It will not be condoned, and we will continue to hammer into the reasonable minds that this wakomana nyangwe mune simba rakawanda rakadiro kuti rovatiri madhara. We will still tell you this is a party for the people, and the constitution reigns supreme, and it must be followed to the letter and the spirit of the constitution. Dai my vice presidents akanga achida kucontesta zvinotendekwa, even an ordinary member anotendekwa contest, but it has got to be in an orderly way, kwete kuappointwa nenational council. A single clause that authorizes it to appoint it.
Okay, Sekuru, thank you. Sekuru. Sekuru. Zimbabwe, it's 19 minutes after midnight, Kunoku United Kingdom, but really, I cannot go without asking this burning question that has been on my heart. Really, this is from me, guys. Sekuru.
Yo.
Hand on heart, can I start with you there? Sekuru, hand on heart. Sekuru, kufa kwa Tsvangirai, pakanzi Tsvangirai afa, Tsvangirai is dead in South Africa. All the speeches that Nelson Chamisa did, were they a campaign for himself or it was to mourn the president? I just want a simple answer there, Sekuru, from what you saw.
They were campaign message.
Right, campaign message. Chief Sose, were these campaign messages or it was a mourn of your leader?
Oh, you are just taking advantage of someone who was dead, using his name, and you continue to do that. And that's very, very unfortunate.
Right, thank you so much. Ndirakwenda pana Mukoma Wilbert. Mukoma Wilbert, did you think this was a speech, a mourning, or these were speeches to endorse himself as a leader of Tsvangirai, of the MDC?
Sorry, I did actually follow his speeches at that point.
You didn't?
So, no. I think there was a period when I wasn't reading what the individual leaders were saying. I was just following the general story of Tsvangirai and so forth.
Okay.
But the individuals, no, I didn't follow it.
Oh, you didn't follow?
I know Chamisa made some speeches, but I never read them.
Okay. I was following them intensively myself, and it's something that came to my mind. Kuti, was this campaigning or it was mourning the fallen hero? What did you think of it? Do you think he was campaigning or he was merely, saying good things about the falling president?
To be honest with you, after what happened, being right after the death, I honestly expected a break, so I couldn't even listen anymore. I stopped listening to him because I was in so much pain. Like, I would see Chamisa talking and I would start crying from anger.
Okay.
And I stopped listening.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Tete Sali.
Yes.
Well, what did you make of those speeches that Nelson Chamisa did at Harvest House and at the Unit Square and also in Bohera there? Did you think these were he was already on a campaign trail, or he was merely mourning the fallen president at that point?
Okay. That was the beginning. That was the first steps for the coup. Okay, there in Unity or Freedom Square or whatever it is, at Buhera. That was the cherry on the top for the coup. Coup now finish. I am the king. There was no morning, Tsvangirai, please.
Okay, all right. Okay, Sally, thank you.
No morning.
Again, the same question. What did you make of it?
Generally, there were morning messages, but I also have to accept that some could have been done better.
All right, thank you. Mukoma Teach, what did you make of it? Mukoma Teach. Babangu chirandi. Wani kwa wakuna ma-highlights Arsenal and Manchester City. Right. Some of these messages here. And Sodza, I think iriponde kuti pakashaika Tsvangirai, the other two vice presidents, vanga vari out of the country. Saka Chamisa had to take action. Ne council. Saka Chamisa is legitimate. Saka nyande kuti munyika amfaniri kushaikwa president. So Chamisa is well within within his rights. Now, Sekuru Murugusek, I'm just reading what Wasukuru they are writing here. This one is saying that. But this one is saying even Kupewacho was not going to call Congress because she will be at the helm. Kupe, I go vote.
That is, she reports to the National Council, and that the National Council would force you to call the extraordinary general meeting. That is the one they are entitled to do.
Okay. Sekuru Batai Makadaro. Congress or no Congress, all we want is Chamisa. End of story. Dimkanya from Leicester. I have said it before. Too many lawyers in MDC led to a messy and ambiguous constitution. Moving on. This MDC thing is a mess, and they want to rule the country? Question marking ga.
That was from me. That was from me.
I don't know what these people are saying. Right. Let me read them. Please ask these MDC guys, kune zvakanaka here ku Congress 12 months time. Win or lose election, do we have a problem in the making? Right, okay. Let's move on. Sekuru is not beating about the bush. He has now exposed the zvese zvanga zvataurwa navapebve earlier on.
Just ask one question quickly.
Yes, hold on. Let me just finish off reading these things.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There's one yandaona panapa. Sekuru, you'd love to hear that. People should not blame Chamisa about kurowa kwa Thokozani Kupe. Those kids vanga vakarowa nemusombo dia. They have got no jobs. We should blame ED for that. Moreover, Sekuru wagara wakamaka Chamisa from before. He should also retire from politics because he Sekuru wants him to retire.
Hey, it's nice. Sekuru's in the.
Ah, dear me. Be careful in putting trust. It's why be careful in putting trust in the young people. They were with Grace Mugabe. They were moved to Mnangagwa. They moved to Mnangagwa now. They are with Chamisa at election time. We don't know where they will be after that. Have I finished everything here? Right. She's fuming. Oh, okay. No. Again, Mkoma Benford sent me a message here. Kwanziko DJ. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Kwanzi Mkoma tafadzwa zvimwe zvinhu zvacho sali, some of the things I can't read. This one is saying, can they also give Emerson Mnangagwa credit, especially our Mkoma tafadzwa, those guys that have been imprisoned wrongly have been released? Can they? Dear me. I think I've read enough here. Politics is a dirty game. Pa MDC yave afa asara. Dai vagadzirisana before elections. Vanhu vazive kuti vakushanda pamwe chete. Right. I think I've read enough there. Zimbabwe, there you have it. If you haven't been confused about the whole thing today, you are not going to get confused anymore. Sally, what did you want to say?
Right. I wanted to ask. Now, if Chamisa has to call a Congress after a year, okay, that means if he wins this election, he will then be the president of the country. Now, if he calls a Congress in MDC
in 2019,
and he gets voted out. Pardon?
Yes, in 2019, if he calls for Congress, he can be called back like what your friend was.
And he gets the president of the MDC. Then what happens to him as the president of the country?
Yes, he can. Yeah, the party can recall him.
Yeah, like what Zuma did, like what they did to Zuma, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. They've got the powers to do that.
Yeah.
They can
so there you have it,
they can recall you, and then you know.
No, what I'm saying is, the Congress has to happen in a year's time, isn't it?
Within, yeah.
Yeah, within a year.
Yeah.
So the Congress
it can happen
is
in 30 days. It can happen in 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
no,
within
okay,
a period of.
Yeah, it happens in a year. It's after the election. Chamisa is the president of Zimbabwe. Okay? Now the conference is called for new leader of MDC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay? So they vote in Sekuru as the new leader of MDC.
Yeah.
So now what happens to Chamisa? He still carries on as president.
No, not Sekuru will become president.
The party can recall any candidate.
No, but if they don't recall him and they decide and
well, they can recall and put Sekuru. And the constitution of the country,
it doesn't happen.
And the new constitution allows even the president are far from the other party or incapacitated or whatever, or will call, or then he will then elect a new person to take over and finish the term. There's no problem with that.
Right, okay. Aiwa, zvasinei muri yeZimbabwe ndo zvazvinoita. We will call it a day here. What a mess. What I would have thought really is if that is going to happen, if Congress is going to happen next year, it might as well happen now so that the person who is going to do, in an ideal world, but we are told that, this is unprecedented what has happened, and we wish you well, MDC. Thank you so much for those that have participated on the show. Sally, thanks to DJ Mowi here, I no longer don't have to edit first hour out and all the rest of it. So the recording will be on your way tonight. Tonight, yes. He's managed to put a gadget pa system yangu yekuti patinotanga discussion yotanga kurekoda just the discussion, and that's the end of it. So I don't have to mess about with anything now. As soon as we call it a day, it will be on your way to you there, so you can start working on it tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that would be nice. Then I'll stop getting little notices from YouTube.
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
tired of them.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, Zimbabwe, for being with us here tonight. Varimu UK, I hope you keep yourself warm. I'm told that the cold snap is going to finish probably by Sunday. So, Sekuru, wrap up well when you are going out there in your car, and just drive if you do need to drive.
Can't get sick,
Sekuru. 4 hours in 10 miles. 4 hours.
Yeah, I know. I saw Mkoma teach was showing us a video in London. This is what I'm faced with, Ndabuda Panze and all the rest of it. And someone was saying, oh, these Zimbabwean men, just a little bit of snow and they are whinging and complaining. Why didn't they just man up?
They must come live in South Africa, where you can only take, in Cape Town, where you can only take 2 minutes for a shower.
Right.
And you allow 20 liters of water a day. Then see how you enjoy that.
Okay. All right.
We could go for months.
Okay. Right. Zvisinei muri yeZimbabwe tosangana musi wechina unotevera kapachirongwa panapa. In that way, toona kuti zvine zvakamira sei. We will have some more issues to talk about. So, I mean.